Thank you guys for joining today. And once again, we're going to be, having fun with doing some yoga. Now, the key is I've had a number of students that have asked me to go ahead and give a couple new poses to challenge them a little bit more. So, like anything, we're always going to start off with our normal, finding our center, getting our nice tall posture, deep breath in, hold, really trying to reach back behind you, and then relax, sweeping for that ground, nice and slowly, and back on through. Yes. And Norbert is here. What's up? Yes, and I'm not going to go as far to the ground because you're back here, and I don't want to get hit in the face. But you and I are going to hopefully have a little bit of fun. So after we go through our normal cycle, we're then going to go ahead and go through our normal salutation sequence where we're going to go ahead and reach to the ground. Only today, we're going to go ahead and add a little variation, in that we're going to think about reaching nice and easily to the ground, but we're going to go single hand and open up to the side. And then from there, we're going to, yes, Norbs, bring ourselves into that lunge, but have that leg inside of our knee, and then let it go outside of our hands, reaching into those hips. From there, it will be our normal combination of lowering ourselves into that cobra pose, bring ourselves down and pressing ourselves back into that downward dog. And then from there, we're going to go ahead, bring that lunge straight forward to the best of our ability. Yes, Norbert, Daddy is a tight tiger from the squatting yesterday. And then we're going to go ahead and bring that knee inside, breathing on into it, trying to bring both of our knees inside if possible, but probably having to relax out into that squat because that's completely normal. Reaching back into those hips, trying to sit back into the ground to the best of our ability, going into it, and then standing on up, going through that cycle 4 times on each side. Ain't that right, buddy? So follow that sequence, twice on each side leading through. And remember again, folks, we're going to start off on that single leg. We're going to go ahead and reach to that ground, try to open up and be balanced nice and strong, and then bring ourselves into that lunge initially inside of our hands, and then bring it out and let it drape to the side. Don't be in a hustle. Breathe through it. Oh, there we go. Now we finally have another student that's trying to join on in, and we're going to have it so that I'm going to be the pin video. Good. So take your time going through that warm-up sequence. Don't be in a hurry. Relax, reach back into that stretch to the best of your ability. Good. Ain't that right, Norms? Ain't that right? Yes. You're a good puppy. Yes, you are. Yes, you are. Good. And the one student that was here is now dropped out.
Trying to connect their video.
Yeah, strange. So let's go ahead, folks, when you're ready. After you've gone through that cycle, we're going to go ahead and change things up a little bit again for trying to challenge ourselves initially with our balance. So let's meet ourselves in our tree pose, holding ourselves nice and strong, owning our position, reaching for the ceiling. From there, we're going to go ahead and grab for that toe, reach ourselves in, and then allowing ourselves to open up high for the ceiling. And then we're going to go ahead and think relax down. Ooh, hey Norbs. Hey buddy. Thank you for sitting there. Oh, thank you. I'm gonna try to reach to the ceiling to the best of my ability on that single leg. And then I'm gonna go ahead and bring myself up and meet myself over in the Hindu squat to the best of my ability. And then from there, we're going to go ahead and grab that toe. He works. And we're going to try to extend the leg, but we're not going to be able to because we're tripping over ourselves a little bit. No, it's still dirty. And then, sorry, folks, we're going to bring ourselves back, try to grab that toe, press on through to the best of our ability. And then if we feel saucy and we're feeling aggressive, switch sides and try to go across your body and lift. And that's okay to really struggle with it because obviously I do, because it is quite the challenge for me. So we're gonna go ahead and come over on the other side with that, meet ourselves in that tree pose, owning our position, reaching up nice and high from there. Let's go ahead, grab that toe, reach on forward, opening on up and trying to get my leg behind me, getting strong into that hip. From there, we're going to go ahead and fold nice and gently, trying to reach with that opposite leg to the ceiling to the best of our ability, holding our balance, bring ourselves back into that tree pose. Breathing through it, grabbing that toe, stretching on through, owning our position and breathing. And then when we're ready, let's go ahead, try to see if we can bring that leg across that body. Ooh, that's just anger in the hip. So much anger. That's okay. That's what I get for squatting heavy. And I enjoy it. Well, not really the pain. And then let's go ahead and step on out. And that's going to be the cycle that we're going to follow through 3 more times on each side. So challenging yourself with new positions from what we've done previously. So, everybody still with me?
Yes.
So now we're going to go ahead and move on to some more aggressive planking positions. Oh, buddy, maybe not. Norbs is here, and he's so here. Okay, so let's go ahead. I have the leash, which is probably why Norbert is here, because he thinks we're going on a walk. We're going on a walk after this is done. But
I'm taking our dogs out too.
what's that?
I'm gonna take out Einstein and Josie too after this.
Good. So I'm going to go ahead and take the leash and wrap it around my hand. From here, go ahead and grab and use that strap to pull myself back, to focus on trying to stretch out that tricep, stretch out that shoulder, because I am a tight tiger back there. Breathing on into it. Hey, Norbs. Hey, buddy. And in the interim, I'm going to go ahead and meet myself in a lunge to try to open up on that same side into that shoulder, into that hip, deep into that lat, letting myself relax into that hip flexor, letting myself come loose, going ahead and switching the strap over to the other hand, bringing it on over again, letting it come behind me, and then again, thinking about stretching on into it, only now, hey bud, we're gonna go ahead and get into that lunge on the opposing side, breathing on into it, stretching into that tricep, stretching into the front of that hip. It's okay if you can interlock your hands behind your body. I'm not able to. If you don't have a strap, you can go ahead and just grab the elbow. Think about trying to reach behind, breathing on through to the best of our ability, because remember, if you're holding your breath, you don't own it. And then from there, let's go ahead and bring ourselves on back to the center, working on both sides, breathing into it. We're then going to work on trying to get our hands into that prayer pose behind our body, and I'm not able to, but that's okay. I'm working on trying to stretch out that rotation in my shoulders, and I'm going to purposely have my legs out nice and wide, sitting into that squat, breathing into it, turning those toes out even wider, trying to push those knees out to the side, going into the corner, and working my way into the corner, trying to breathe into those hips, trying to open those groins, trying to let myself squat down as far as I can in that far more challenging position on those adductors. Bringing myself up, breathing and relaxing, trying to lean back, open up those hips some more, and we're going to cycle through that also 4 times. Now, once we get through there, Norbs, I need you to go to mommy or something. Or not. Let's hope he stays there. This could be interesting. Now, this is meant to be a challenge based on things that we have not done a whole lot before with the students in the class. So we're going to go ahead and try to flow with this and giving ourselves a couple options. First of all, we're going to meet ourselves in the downward dog, and we're going to actively choose to touch our elbows to the ground and then press ourselves back up. Controlling ourselves down, press ourselves up. Go ahead and give yourself a break on occasion if you need to by relaxing into that pigeon pose. We're going to go ahead and work on both sides of the hip there, working through that at least 3 to 4 times. Oh, and now the cat is here. Oh, this is great. We're all just hanging out together, guys. So from here, I'm gonna bring myself back into that downward dog. I'm gonna go single arm, touch my kneecap, bring myself scoop down, just roll myself up nice and slowly. Hello, El Gato. And then meet myself in cobra pose, bring myself back down, press myself back on up, touch my knee on the other side, and then we're gonna go ahead and bring ourselves into that pigeon pose on the opposite side, getting into that hip. Yes, Norbs, letting it stretch us on out, breathing on into it wherever it meets us at. We're not trying to rush through. After we've gone through that cycle of going from our toes to our elbows on the ground, to our elbows back up, and then going through nice and easily with that Hindu push-up, and bring ourselves back down and through, along with doing more of our pigeon. We're going to then work on doing a couple different variations on plank positions and trying to balance on our hips. So the basic goal is we're going to go ahead and start off on our hips, Norris. Goal first is to balance on just, yes, legs off the ground, feet off the ground, holding ourselves in a nice strong pike, breathing into it nice and easily for count of 5. Relax on down, buddy. And then we're gonna go ahead and pike those hips up, holding ourselves. Don't push me down, buddy. This is hard enough as it is. And then from here, I'm gonna go ahead and think about, thank you, Norbert. I'm gonna bring myself into a nice side plank and pet the dog so he doesn't get angry and hit me in the face. Bring myself back down to the center, hold myself nice and strong, bring myself then up nice and high to the side, breathing on into it, holding my position, and then bringing myself back down and holding that pike again, nice and strong. Working our way through that cycle, nice and easily, 5 times. Thank you, Norbs. I appreciate you giving us all of your love and affection and attention, because he is a good dog. From here, we're gonna go ahead and just relax those feet out nice and wide, reach as far forward as we can, trying to stretch out, bias yourself to the right, bias yourself to the left, and then back to the center. Going through that cycle 4 times, trying to stretch to either side, stretch to the center, challenge yourself each round by trying to get those legs out a little bit wider, get into those hips a little bit deeper. And then we're going to go ahead and bring ourselves into, well, I guess we're not really going to be able to get into a half lotus or a full lotus because baby's here. And that's okay. That's okay, Norbs. It's good for you to be here. I like hanging out with you. Most of the time. Most of the time. So let's go ahead, folks, and we're going to bring ourselves. Hey, buddy. Hey, bud. Daddy's going to go ahead and slowly get up around you. Don't worry, he's going to come back to petting you. So let's go ahead, spend a little bit of time getting into the hip flexor, lunging forward nice and deeply into it, breathing into it, reaching back with our shoulders, squeezing our butt, trying to get into the front of that hip. We're then going to go ahead and bring ourselves down and meet ourselves in that hero. If you want to go ahead and lean back from this position, feel free. We're just trying to stretch into it and mobilize a little bit more. And then we're going to go ahead, bring ourselves over into our lunge on the opposite side, breathing into it, pushing those hips forward, feeling a nice deep stretch in that hip flexor. And then we're going to go ahead and meet ourselves in the bottom of the squat and just think about breathing on into it, reaching into those corners, and just relaxing on into it. Eat that right, Norbinator. Eat that right. So Norbert is my nice little counterweight, helping me stay in the bottom here, helping me stretch out. Boy, you got some knots in this long hair, buddy. Got some knots in that long hair. Yeah. So then when we're ready, we're going to go ahead, stand it on up nice and easily. After we've gone through that cycle 4 times on each side, take some deep breaths. And then when you're done at the end, go ahead and relax. Focus on your breath. You can go ahead and just completely relax in dead man's pose on your back. You can stand up nice and tall, closing those eyes, feeling that balance, and then trying to connect with that breath through your belly, not through your chest. nice and easily for at least a 5 count of each. Preferably, don't even count. Just relax and let yourself come to the end of the session. And have a great day, guys. Thanks for listening, and I appreciate you coming on in. Stay safe. Bye-bye.